while we're hooking that up, we were invited later this afternoon to tour the apartments, right?
Yes.
And so if anyone's interested when the meeting's over, we just set up a time this afternoon to meet out to the Bristol Cone Apartments. I certainly want to go through it, but all the rest of the commissioners are invited as well.
Yes, it'll be at 1 p.m.
1 p.m. is perfect.
We can meet at the office.
Okay. The office is on Avenue F there across from the laundromat.
Yep.
Okay, so everyone's invited to that wants to go and tour the new major job that was done on those apartments. Is that okay with you, that, Mike?
Don't talk about it.
Oh. I just mentioned
Be
it.
quiet, look around.
Yeah, I just mentioned it.
Thank you. Good morning, White County Board of Commissioners. My name is Sept. I am the Director of Community Development for Nevada Rural Housing Authority.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So we're here today to talk a little bit about the history of Nevada Rural Housing Authority, as well as to share with you a little bit about Bristol Cone Apartments.
Thank you.
I wanted to let you know that we have Beth Dunning here. She is our compliance project manager. And we also have Bill Brewer, who is our executive director. And we have Rose and Roger, thank you, oh my goodness. Two of our board members along with us as well. So a little bit about NRHA. We were founded in 1973 as a public housing authority. And in 1995, NRHA was separated from the state, becoming a quasi-governmental entity with its own 5-member board. Since then, NRHA has provided affordable housing and economic development solutions in rural Nevada. Nevada strives to fulfill its mission, and our mission is to, Nevada Rural Housing Authority's mission is to promote, provide, and finance affordable housing for opportunities for all rural Nevadans. Opportunities. So we do this by providing rental assistance, Section 8 vouchers. We have a home at last program for first-time home buyers with down payment assistance and MCC. We have a weatherization program that provides energy efficiency upgrades for homeowners with restricted incomes, and of course our community development department. We serve the rural communities. What is rural? Cities and towns with a population of under 150,000. So NRHA serves 15 rural communities and rural portions of Clark County and Washoe County as well. And we cover approximately 110 square miles, and that's more than 1.3 million Nevadans. Within that 110 square miles.
102,000.
Square miles. So we are driven by our mission, and our mission is proven by results. As you can see, we have earned the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development High Performer status for the last 16 years. In 2016, we received the Single Family Excellence Award and Multifamily Excellence Award from the National Association of Local Housing Finance Agencies. And in 2018, we won the Innovation and Dedication to Mission Award recipient from George K. Bond Company and Single Family Excellence Award from NAFTA as well. Our true reward, however, is the fruits of our labor and seeing our members of the community in happy, safe, and comfortable places to live. And that includes several members of our society here. And I would like to have Beth Dunning proceed with the remainder of our presentation here and talk about Bristol Cone.
So this part is, we are talking about our community development department. We are the construction department. We do ground up development, we do rehabs, project design and planning, construction management, and housing studies. We have a portfolio at NRHA of 591 multifamily units over 13 different property sites, as well as 7 single-family rental homes. Our assets under management are currently at $82.5 million, and we have invested $65+ million in the state. So who do we serve? 521, or 88% of resident households in our NRHA properties pay no more than 30% of their income for housing. We have approximately 60% of resident households that are elderly or disabled. An average household size is less than 2 with an income less than 50% AMI. We have properties in Carson City, Yerington, Fallon, Winnemucca, Elko, Ely, Tonopah, and coming soon in Mesquite. We also have comprehensive housing studies available for the 15 rural counties and rural portions of Clark and Washoe. Those are sometimes helpful to the cities and other communities as they're trying to determine what their housing needs are and how we may be able to help them. So what does this all mean to you in White Pine County? First Lacona Apartments is a 68-unit apartment complex that was built in the early 80s, if I'm not mistaken, and we are just completing a major construction rehab. 65 of those units are restricted to a mix of 30% and 50% area median income, and 3 units are unrestricted, meaning anyone from the public can come in and live in those. They are not restricted by the low-income housing tax credits or they don't have USDA subsidy. We are also accepting housing choice vouchers for those 3 units. So the scope of work, it was pretty major rehab. The exterior had been done in the not too distant past. What we did was we replaced all the glass in the windows. We've done new front doors. We've done energy efficiency such as new heating and cooling systems, all Energy Star appliances, all LED lighting, brand new lighting, and all of that throughout the interior of the apartments. As far as the cosmetics go, we've put in new flooring, got rid of some really old carpeting and put in some new nice vinyl plank flooring. And those apartments were built when wood paneling was all of the fad, and we recovered that with drywall. So the units have become much brighter and lighter, and they look really fabulous now. So we're also doing some site improvements. We have redone first off, we built a new office building, and we moved our property manager into a new office with a new community space, which you'll see later today. And the old office was turned into a laundry and fitness room. That building is still under construction, but we should be done by the end of next week, and it should be furnished and completed by the end of October. So it'll have a full laundry room with new laundry appliances. It's going to have a fitness room that has 3 pieces of exercise equipment. There will be a small library in there, a shuffleboard table, things that they can do while they're doing their laundry. We have a lot of new site improvements. We added a new playground. We are adding 2 dog parks and some community gardens where the residents will be able to go and plant vegetables if they so choose. So it's going to be a really nice improvement to the site. And what's the cost for all this? The total project costs for this rehab were $10,723,854, and that includes the assumption of an existing USDA loan and transfer. We received $500,000 in Nevada Housing Division home funds. We received $300,000 in Federal Home Loan Bank of San Francisco's Affordable Housing Program funds. We also received in tax credits from the state, $7,914,733. In addition to all that, once we got in there, we realized that there was a ton of asbestos that really needed to be abated in order to make this a really safe environment for the residents. So most, not all, but A majority of the asbestos has been removed. There may be some small areas here and there in storage closet flooring and such, but in the residence itself, we punched holes in ceilings and we pulled out all kinds of asbestos. And we received a $200,000 grant from Nevada Division of Environmental Protection through the brownfields to cover that. So the total hard costs were $6,726,000, and it equates, without FF&E and contingency, it equates to about $82,476 per unit in rehab that we've done. So now, I believe we'll show you, this is what the apartments looked like before. On the exteriors, there's a few one-bedroom cottages. The porches, a lot of the porches, the concrete was just crumbling and coming to pieces. The handrails looked like they were a little rusted, and so that's the exterior. If you can go to the next one. The interiors, as we said, were kind of dark, older cabinetry, older appliances, and the bathrooms. So, and there's the paneling that we were discussing before. Popcorn ceilings have all been scraped out now, and you can see the old carpeting that's in the bedroom on the right. And now we have after. So this is the office. So this is the new office building and the property manager's new office space, which is huge compared to what she had before. This is the interior. There's a new kitchen, brand new appliances, new cabinets, and you can see the new vinyl plank flooring. The bathrooms, that is an ADA unit. We had to add 3 completely ADA accessible units. The concrete has been replaced on, I think, almost all of the ramps. Every ramp has been replaced with new concrete, and then we added a new playground that's kind of a parkour style that's been really popular in other properties that we've redone. And that's what we do. If you have any questions, we're happy to answer those.
Are the in the laundry room, is it coin operated, or is it, does tenants get it for free?
It's going to be coin operated.
Anyone else got any questions? I'm looking forward to the tour.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
So, does anybody else have any questions of this? If not, we'll just move on, and we'll see you at 1 o'clock.
Yes,
Thank you.
We appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, we have 10:30 time, so let's go find some unsigned items. So, all right, we're gonna be over to, looks like Elizabeth. Get some of your stuff done, and that's on page 6. Item 4, these are under Elizabeth Francis, Finance Director. Item A is discussion for possible action and approval to amend the budget for the CARES Act funds previously approved based on changing needs.
Thank you. And so I have had some more requests. I kind of want to give you an update, and your backup is the original letter I sent to the governor's office, finance office, based on your original decisions, how we're going to spend the $1 million. And of the small business assistance, that program did open on September 8th. So far, I have had 3 applications come in for a total of $25,000. I really need help in getting this promoted. I thank Richard very much for getting on the radio yesterday and promoting the program. It is on our website, and I did do a press release with the Ely Times, and I am open to however we can get the word out so people will start applying. One of the misconceptions I found out there for the program is people thought it was a loan, and this is not. This is a grant program. It doesn't need to be repaid as long as they're providing us receipts as to what they did with the money that's in compliance with the application process. So, so far that program is not really taking off, and I almost want to hire someone with leaflets and going business to business and say, hey, do you know this is out there? You know, you should apply for this to help you out, because we know our businesses have been impacted. And then we have some changes as far as the senior center has been. They originally requested $210 for the Elk Center rent, and that actually has gone up to $1,500. So they're asking for $1,290 additional. And the sink the portable sink that they requested at $125 actually came in at $225. So they need another $1,390 to cover additional expenses for things that they have done in order to mitigate COVID-19 and continue to provide the meals to our seniors during this pandemic. Another request I got was from the fire district. This one is for evidently, and I don't know if Brett's still here, no, it looks like he left. They have what he termed a compressionless or a hands-free compression for CPR, so that this is something they can do and they don't actually have to get into someone's face, and it provides for it. But to get 4 units to cover our ambulances is about $59,149. So that's a substantial increase that's being requested. The McGill Town Council has come to me and asked for COVID-19 supplies, and I believe that we still have adequate funds in personal protective equipment of $15,000 that's being applied countywide that I can utilize to cover that request. So no additional funding there. And then we approved $20,000 for the cost of allowed sick leave that's required pursuant to federal law, and this is where they take leave, but they don't have to use their own leaves that the county provides. That was approved at $20,000. We are currently up to $24,140 as to how much that costs. We can absorb anything above $20,000 into the general fund, or you can decide to rearrange funds that are existing. There was another request for heart monitors from the fire district for $108,167, and it was for 4 of them. So each one is about $26,000, $27,000 in that area. But I feel like this is one where we are replacing existing equipment, and that really is not necessarily, strictly speaking, COVID related. We've already had these, they're becoming outdated, we want to replace them, that should be part of our regular operations, but that would be a decision for you. So anyways, the places I see we're going to save money is the public health officer to help manage the pandemic. I see we're going to save about $20,000 there with the contracts that were just approved today. And then the portable jabs equipment, we asked for $13,382 for that because we were applying for a $50,000 grant. That grant was not funding, that match is not needed. I am working with Nicole to find an alternate grant. In fact, I should be putting an application in within the next day or two to pay for 100% of that equipment. I'm waiting for the district court judges to get back to me because it's under the district court that this grant will go in. So I am working with Nicole to resolve that issue, but that would mean that we don't have to have that $13,382 there. So the question is to the county commission, do we want to keep the $500,000 in small business assistance there? It doesn't look like we're anywhere near going to be on target for that much expenditures, or do we want to really see what we can do to get out there and promote this more? I mean, I apologize, I don't have time to go door to door and let businesses be aware, and more spots on the radio would be really helpful to just make sure people are getting that news out there. Like I said, it's on the website.
Chamber of Commerce?
I can go to the Chamber of Commerce.
Probably Chamber and the Tour and Rec people are 2 outlets. We get a lot of visibility, and they'd probably be happy to put some content on their social media to let people know.
Okay.
Elizabeth, and with that, can you get with the outfit that administers this? Some of the feedback I got is it's kind of a tedious process going through the online, so I don't know if they can post a video that kind of guides someone through step by step. You know, I know some of the feedback I got is some of the stuff you have to upload, but like it doesn't apply to us, so you just upload something blank and it works. So just stuff like this I've kind of been hearing, so maybe just a walkthrough of, for our county specifically, how someone can watch that, you know, screen by screen and put it in. hopefully that would reduce some of the calls into your office as well.
Okay,
If we could develop a leaflet, just a one pager that just gives the information about the program and what they need to do, I would be more than happy to take the time to do some door to door and just visit with the business owners in the community.
okay, thank you.
And I'd do the same.
All right.
We need to also maybe talk with the mayor and have him maybe get on the radio also and let them know that this is a joint county and city too, so that, you know, we need to promote that there's, you know, more funds available than just what the city has, because the county has contributed.
Does the city actually have a program, a small business
I
assistance?
thought that they were going to. I haven't heard whether they've developed it, or I would hope that they would have, because most of the businesses are in the city.
Okay, I will
I
reach
don't
out
know,
to,
Elizabeth.
I will reach out to the mayor and ask him. Any,
See what he's got. I hate to see us cut into it until we've properly publicized it and talked with the business owners and made sure that our business community is aware that it's available.
We have till the end of the year.
no, the grant closes, I believe it's October 6th.
Wow. Yeah, we gotta move fast.
Yeah, that's why,
We're gonna have another meeting before then,
no.
so maybe you think.
But I don't see any reason why, I don't see cutting it now. I would like to see us leave the full funding in place until we reach the deadline. And then at that point, we will know exactly what our available funds are.
So, well, on the small business front, it's October the 6th, but then the rest of it is the end of the year? Or-
Yes, yes, so if we don't get through all this, we can wait till a future meeting to go ahead and reallocate those funds. At this time, I would say that the really important one that has come forward to me is the request for the senior center to cover the additional costs that they're experiencing to maintain our senior meal programs through a delivery instead of having those congregate services. And that, like I said, is the 1,290 and 100, and we can reduce what we have into the public health officer, because we allocated 50,000, and right now we have no more than 30,000 between now and the end of December 30th that we'll be paying out, at which time these funds will lapse. So we could perhaps reallocate some of that there. Then the question was, do you want to go ahead and provide more money to the required COVID leaves that we are required to provide for our employees, or do you want those to remain in the general fund until we see what happens with the entire small business assistance program? I think the only one I'm seeing right now that I would really like you to act on is that senior center request. Like I said, McGill Town Council, we already have countywide PPE I can provide to them with their request. And the heart monitor, or the chest compression, we can go ahead and do that, or we can wait. Your next meeting will be after the grant period closes for small business assistance, and we can take a look at that then.
So, I move to reallocate, whatever, $1,200 to the senior center out of the excess from the public health.
Can you make that 1,390?
Yes.
Thank you.
And should we take the balance of that 20 and move it into the overtime?
The 4,000?
Well, you've got 20,000 that we're gonna take out public health, because we've reduced that cost by 20,000. Well, if we took 15, do the 1,390 for the senior center, and then take the balance of that and move it over to cover overtime costs.
Sounds good to me, amended.
And we're still working within our original, basically our original budget.
So balance to the COVID-19 leave
Yes.
costs?
Yeah.
And real quick, if you can get those leaflets done like today.
Yep.
uh,
I can.
Shane, I'll get with you. You go up one side of the street and I'll go up the other.
Yeah,
Take
we
a
need to make sure to get out to see the county visitors,
Right.
this is up the county, so.
Let's start with one.
We'll put together a list and then we'll work it out.
Border in, I think has already applied, but so we've got just a limited amount within the county outside the city limits.
Yeah.
But let's get the city local, where we got 90% of our business taken care of, make sure they're all aware. We're on the radio
I'll go
yesterday.
down for First National, and maybe have them distribute to their list of folks they deal with.
Perfect.
I'll give you an example.
Any other help that the commissioner or anybody can do, let's get this out right away.
You have some other Main Street businesses in McGill and Baker.
Exactly, but let's get the leaflets done today, divvy up who's gonna go where, let's get the thing done. Right away. Okay, we had a motion by Travis, and who seconded it?
I will.
You'll second it. Lori will second it, and that's to,
Amend.
get the money to the senior center, and then take the rest of the money over to the overtime, right?
To COVID leaves.
Okay. Okay, George, what do you got?
You need to consider allocating some additional money to the senior center. You don't have an ADA access to the front door. You drop them off in the handicap spot and they gotta walk 100, 150 feet to the corner to access. That's baloney.
Okay.
New project, address it now.
Yeah, okay, but that can be addressed, so we'll put that on there. But right now, we're dealing with the motion and the second, so that we can move forward with the money for the senior center and move the other money for the overtime. Is that right?
For
Am I okay with this?
COVID-19 leave,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, let's, we had a motion by Travis, a second by Lori. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none. Right now, we have the doctors here, we have the public health officer here. We're gonna take a break from Elizabeth's stuff because we're at the 10:30 item. So let's try to stay on track and go to the 10:30 timed item, which is I'll recess the county commission meeting and open the public health meeting. And Dr. Coons, you're in charge of this. This is your meeting, so you're in charge.
I'd like to call the meeting to order, 10:36, public health meeting. Appreciate your time, all of you coming. Wanted to first give you an update in the county. You have seen, or if you haven't, you've probably heard, lots of reports. I am updating our county on a weekly basis. Every Saturday I'm putting out something talking about what's going on in our community, what I'm doing as a public health officer and what we're seeing.
Chairman Coons, I'm sorry to interrupt, we have to take public comment in your
Oh.
meeting first.
Please,
And then we'll go right, so just say, is there any public comment?
any public comment?
Who enforces compliance?
That's not a comment, that's a question, George.
I'm commenting. We can put it on later on.
Show the rules.
Thank you.
Reports can be made to the sheriff's office, investigation will be done and submitted to our office for prosecution.
That's great. Any other public comments? Online, if we have any?
I'm sorry, thank you.
No, I appreciate that. You gotta keep me on track. Currently in our county, we have 14 active cases of COVID-19. 3 came through this morning before I got here, and I've been doing work on that this morning already. 14 active cases means there's 14 people that have tested positive. That doesn't mean there's not more positive in our county. 14 cases means that I've asked 14 families in our community that everybody in that household now is under quarantine for 10 days. Excuse me, those that test positive are under quarantine for 10 days. Those who live in the household are quarantined for 14 days. The difference between the 10 and 14 is merely the fact the virus needs to have a chance to replicate, grow, and pass amongst the family members. So far, we have had a very good track record with the families in our communities. At least they're giving me their acknowledgement that they're willing to quarantine and they're willing to follow my direction. So that's a good sign, I feel like. As I was talking previously, I'm trying to educate our public, I'm trying to put things out there. We are seeing community spread at this time. We've had some events where people have gone without masks, and these masks are basically the one thing that has caused them to pick up the virus. I can point to 3 individuals in our community. One questioned why or how they thought they obtained the virus and asked about mask use. They say when we don't have customers, We take off our masks and we sit around and we talk. Well, guess what? All 3 are positive. Because the mask prevented it? Maybe. Science would say yes. Therefore, it was encouraged that in this one specific business that they wear masks at all times. Essentially, the rule is if you aren't with somebody you live with, you need a mask on. And that's the case of some other cases we had. Some children or teenagers who had an event without any masks on. Luckily, we kind of dodged a small bullet. 2 out of the 16 were positive. The rest were not at that time. I thought also I'd like to open up questions